Howdy, and welcome back to the Dice Cast. We've got brand new books to get on the table. I'm Nick. This is Brendan, the Lord of Death, Melnick.
Yep.
And we are having the Death Off. Mm-hmm. The two new death books, OBR, Soulblight, and they're going to be interesting.
They're really different.
They're radically different. Both of them changed a lot from how they operated before. Mm-hmm. And they're very different from each other, even though we both got a lot of infantry and things like that. They're going to play very differently. How are you feeling about this new OBR book, Brendan?
So psyched.
Yeah.
So OBR is my favorite army. So Death is my favorite Grand Alliance. Within that, Bonereapers is my favorite army, just period.
Sure.
When they first came out, I bought everything. I have 100 Mortec Guard.
Nice.
20 Cavalos Death Riders. I have 6 Immortus Guard. Like, everything that came out with the book, I was ready to go.
Right.
I'm so stoked. They fixed so much about what they really struggled with here in third. They were great for the little bit of time that they lived in second. They fixed a lot of the stuff that they lost in third. They simplified what they could, but at the same time kept the level of complexity that I loved about the army.
Sure, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of bubbles, a lot of recursion, and a lot of real punching power that comes from almost any unit can get really buffed up to
they're super elite versus what you have.
Sure.
But, even compared to other armies, like, you're able to field a lot of stuff.
Sure.
But compared to the 180 models that you have on the table, it's very elite, but everything has the ability to solve just about any problem.
Right. They can all become tanky. They can all become hammers.
Yeah. Your Mortec Guard can pop up to Ren 2, or they can be extremely defensive.
Right.
Just in a moment. It's awesome.
Right. And that used to be something where you really had to choose. You were really either layering the defensive buffs or you were pumping up their offense.
And it was built on what sub-faction you were and that kind of thing, so...
Yeah, so you're choosing in the list building phase, which is not when you want to make these choices.
No. Right. Now you're making the decision on the table on a per-turn basis.
Which is awesome.
You're going to see in the corner where it says command points, I'm going to have like 100.
I'm running Soulblight Gravelords, and when we got the peaks at this book, I read through it, and I'm going to be honest, I was very disappointed about the book because I had the mindset of how I used to play this army. Mm-hmm. And I used to play this army a ton. But the things I used to really lean on, it seemed like were all gone. And I didn't see the compensation at first. But then I got into list building, and I started to see how the pieces fit together and started to kind of see what I could bring in a list. And, Castle Eye Dynasty I'm more excited about. Legion of Blood I'm more excited about. Legion of Night looks really good.
Legion of Night's awesome.
Yes.
I think Avangor is great, too.
Agreed.
So I've come along on this journey with you as well. We were reading it together. I was also very disappointed.
Sure.
Another one of my armies that I really love. And we were both sitting at that kitchen table heartbroken at what we were reading. But you've put together a couple of lists, and this one's my favorite, honestly.
Sure. I think this is really, it's got some weak matchups, but I think this is an army that can do very well into a lot of things, and I love how many interactions there are in the army and how many moving pieces. So I'm excited about
classic Death Army.
Absolutely. Let's get into the list.
All right, so what I'm running is Mortis Praetorians. And my grand strategy is have one of my units of either Cavalos Death Riders or Mortec Guard at the end of the game with the number of models that they started with. I've got 4 units that are eligible, and I've got a fair bit of recursion, so I feel all right about that. My subfaction here is Mortis Praetorians, and what that does is in my opponent's charge phase, at the end of their charge phase, I can pick a unit to try and charge them. There's a lot of play in that. There's a couple of units that I really kind of want to spring that trap on and close that door early if I can. The inclusion of Catacross, he's basically the same in terms of what he does, but his table now, he doesn't lose his companions. All he loses is companion attacks and gains more attacks for himself. What he does is very, very, very familiar. I've got a Liege Cavalos, and his command trait is a -3 to charge bubble for enemy units within 12 inches. So when Nick's dropping his guys down from summoning or just approaching me, I'm going to try and make his life as difficult as possible to get a hold of my stuff. I want to be fighting on my terms all game. His artifact basically lets him heal based on what he kills, so I want to keep that bubble going for as long as possible. We've got the Soul Mason. The Soul Mason now knows the whole lore, so that's why I chose Levitate, because I already know the other 6 spells. I've got 2 units of 20 Mortek Guard, a unit of 10 Mortek Guard, a unit of 5 Cavalos Death Riders, and a unit of 2 Morghast Archime. I think Morghast got a huge improvement in this particular book. Spoiler alert, I'm going to use them as one of my Mortis Praetorian charge units as much as possible to keep them fighting and get a high return on investment as possible. And then the Bone Tithe Streaker. The Bone Tithe Streaker prevents Inspiring Presence and Rally, and also reduces the ward save of non-Bone Reaper units within 12 inches of it. Everything's in a battle regiment. I, as much as possible, want to control who's going first, where, and when, especially against Nick. He's going to be bringing stuff in through the grave sites, and when he tells you kind of what happens with that, there were some big changes there to try and help pin your opponent in early. But that's what I got. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes, and spending tons and tons and tons of command points.
So we'll get into the novel of a list that I put together here. It's a long list. It's got a lot of moving pieces. My general is a Vampire Lord on foot. He's got the Driven by Death Stench command trait, and he's got Tunnel Master. And so what that's going to do is let him move up the field with the Tunnel Master, give out his buff, which is now every combat phase, doesn't need to spend a command point for it. Summonable unit, +1 attack, one of the best buffs in the game. And then he also gives a bubble of rerolling charges with that command trait. I've also got a Necromancer who got really cheap. Van Hels isn't quite as good anymore, in my opinion, but he got really cheap, and he's got a great lore to pull from. So that Necromancer's got Waste Away as his spell lore, which is a really strong spell. It's going to give -1 to wound and -1 to damage for a unit, so I can hopefully nerf out some of the things that are really coming into me. And then I've got a bunch of named heroes. So I've got Belladama Volga, 2-caster for 170 with a pass-off. She's really good. Both of her spells are absolute bangers. And then I've got Torgilius the Chamberlain, who's going to give a bubble of 5-up ward instead of 6-up ward. Very nice. I've got King Morlack Velmorn, who's going to come with the Sons of Velmorn unit. And he's a summonable hero, which is a new thing for this book. That means he can come back after he dies, and he can deep strike through the grave sites. So there's some good interactions there. And then my last hero is Gorslav the Gravekeeper. He's got the ability to bring back units guaranteed every turn. Units of zombies only, though. So he brings it back at half strength at the end of my movement phase. That can double up with the other recursion that I have from my grave sites. So I love that combination. And my grand strat is to do exactly that. I need to bring back 3 destroyed units over the course of the game. With the way this list is built, that should be a very easy thing to achieve. Now, one of the things that you're going to notice here is I've got 3 artifacts, and 2 of those artifacts are on named heroes. That is something that Virkos got in this book as a new rule. The artifact table and command trait table allow named heroes to take them. I think it's really cool, and Virkos kind of needs it because they have so many named heroes in the Soulblight book. For my units, I've got 40, 20, and 20 of zombies. They lost their mortals on hits, but now they do mortals when they die, and spoiler, they're going to die. I've got 30 skeletons who really can have some cool recursion. As long as they can hang around, they'll keep coming back during the combat phase. And then I've got Corpse Cart, which is going to give me a bonus to casting. I've got those Sons of Elmorn, and I've got 20 Graveguard that really provides a hammer for me. My endless spell here is Ravanax Gnashing Jaws, because one of the things that I really lack in a Soulblight list is the ability to project damage into support pieces. That gives me an opportunity to do it. I think that and Torgilius' shooting are really key to maybe shore up some of those weaknesses where you can. Overall, this book has a lot of tools. I mentioned the artifacts. I'm going to have a bubble of reroll charges. I'm going to have an artifact that gives 5 awards to my summonable. And I'm going to have an artifact that lets me roll every time Brendan spends a command point, and I'll get a command point 2 on a 4-up. Against most armies, that's a couple extra command points around. Against Brendan's army, that's going to be more command points than I probably know what to do with.
Alright, today we are playing the Realmstone Cache. So this is one objective in the middle of the table. But at the start of the third battle round, before determining who will take the first turn, the Realmstone Cache detonates and scatters the fragments of the Realmstone across the battlefield. The defender must remove the objective at the center of the battlefield, which will be interesting because we have about 230 miles between the two of us. And roll a dice. The roll determines the location of the scattered fragments. Place 2 new objectives on the battlefield and locations determined by the results. Victory conditions are as normal. Hold 1, hold 2, hold more. 2 for your battle tactic. Grand strats are worth 3. Pretty straightforward deployment for me, right? We've got a pretty tiny box. We've got one objective to take control of, and then eventually the objective is going to split. So want to create a strong middle-of-the-table presence early, and force Nick into some fights that he doesn't want to early, and force him to get his resummon stuff on the board also early. So the best way to do that is set up where I did. Putting my Leech Cavalos on the corner means that if he sets up anything within 12 inches of him, it's going to be -3 to charge. So it's going to be very difficult for him off that corner to deploy anything to charge me, forcing him to deploy out of this corner to try and land a charge if he wants to do that early. Just denying one side of the board is rarely a bad thing. So that was the idea here.
I put up my big zombie blocks out front to really absorb Brendan's turn 1 charge if he decides to take first and come into me. And then my big block of Death Rattle Skeletons that have their great recursion so that they can set up. I've got 2 bubbles of 5-up wards in the army, so I spread those out in the back line with the Necromancer and his artifact and Torgilius. And then I made sure all my casters are kind of around the corpse cart, so they're going to get their bonuses. But then I left some units off the table. I left 20 zombies off the table, the unit of 20 Graveguard, and then Lord Velmorn as well. Because he's a summonable hero, he can use the Gravesite rule as well. And so he can come in and do some cool things with the Sons of Velmorn during the course of the game. And I also needed to be mindful that I am going to be getting 10 bonus dire wolves early in the game here, so made some room for that. All right, good luck, Brendan.
Yeah, you too. I'm gonna have you go first.
Okay, we'll have Soulblight turn 1.
All right. So as Nick tries to collect his command point for having a general, Catacross says nay on a 5-up. He doesn't get it. 4, so he does get his 2 command points.
Thank goodness. And you get a bucket of them.
I get 3 to start, right? Going second, my general's on the table. I have at least 3 Bone Reaper units, so that's good for another 1. I have at least 5 Bone Reaper units, so that's good for another 2. And I have at least 7 Bone Reaper units, and that's good for another 3. So I'm starting this round at 9 command points.
I definitely kind of expected Brendan to go first, to take control of this objective early, but it's not that surprising that he's giving me the first turn. He's going to be able to come into me a lot harder than I can come into him, and obviously have the opportunity to really punish me if he gets a double. So for my battle tactic here, I'm going to take Cunning Maneuver with my Vampire to get him on the center objective there. And then for my heroic action, I'm going to use the Virkos once per game heroic action from Belladama to summon a unit of 10 direwolves. They can't move this turn, that's their restriction, but they'll get on the field.
I will turn Catacross into a wizard. He's going to think real hard and dispel some, or unbind some spells that Nick's going to cast. I'm I'm a little underpowered in terms of my casting ability versus his, but Catacross hates Wizard, and so he'll think real hard about how angry he is.
Into my hero phase proper, going to get into casting. Belladama is going to start with Under a Killing Moon. Now she's +2. She's got +1 from her War Scroll, and then the Corpse card is going to give her an additional +1. So that is going to be an 11.
You can have that.
So Under a Killing Moon is a wholly within 24-inch bubble of exploding 6s for all of my units.
It's so much better.
She's then going to attempt to cast Spirit Gale. This is from the Lore of the Vampire. She gets that on an 11 as well. And that is going to do one... I got a 9 to cast. So normally the effect is 1 mortal wound to every enemy unit on the field, but because I got a 9 or higher unmodified, it's going to be 2 mortal wounds to every enemy unit on the field. We're starting off hot here. All the way across.
Alright, so we'll start with the unit of 10 Mortec. Ward saves, fail them both. Catacross, fail them both. Dice jail. Unit of 20, take 1, fail 1. Other unit of 20, take 1, fail 1. The Soul Mason, fail both. The Morghast Archai are a 5-up because they're wholly within 12 inches of a hero. Fail them both. And the Cavalos Death Riders, take 1, fail 1. And then the Liege Cavalos, take 1, fail 1. Alright.
Fairly good for a first cast from Belladama.
Second cast.
Or first round of casting. While Brendan hands out mortal wounds like they're going out of style here, my Vampire Lord is going to attempt to cast Mystic Shield. He's on a +1. And he's going to get that with a 5. And that's going to go on that big block of skeletons. Both the Necromancer and Torgilius would have an opportunity to cast here then. But their meaningful spells are out of range, and I don't want to risk the miscast just to load up a mortal wound on them. So that is going to be it for my casting, and we can get into movement here.
Cool.
Movement here, I may have tried to get a little bit too cute, but I pushed things toward the center, and I tried to save a command point from auto-running 6, and then got a 1 on the run roll, so things didn't get as far up as I really wanted them to, but overall, got a lot of bodies on the objective. Brendan is going to have to come in, and then hopefully I've got some opportunities for a counter-strike, or just to bog him down there in the middle. Ultimately, I've got more bodies in general, but he's going to be cleaning a lot more off. And then I decided to deep struck King Velmorn on the side. King Velmorn brings some things to the unit, the Sons of Velmorn, but overall I view him as pretty expendable. And if I can get him into some Mortec and maybe start pinning some things down, I'll feel a little bit better about it. So into shooting, no shooting, into charges. Velmorn's going to try to charge.
Let's see it.
And he's got a 4. I'll go ahead and spend a CP to reroll that.
Woo!
And he will fail it as well. He's hung out there on the side, but if Brendan commits to go after him, that's units that aren't going elsewhere, so I'm okay with that. Scoring here, I'm going to complete my battle tactic with Cunning Maneuver. I got the one objective that's on the field, and I hold more, so 4 points. And we'll go into Bonereapers, bottom 1.
Bottom 1. So before you get your command point, Catacross is going to try and steal it.
Sure.
I don't.
Okay.
So you have 2.
And you go up to 10.
I do go up to 10. I mean, as far as heroic action goes, there's not really anything I want to do. I guess we'll go extra command points on the Soul Mason. Because I guess, you know, if you need... Who needs 10 when you can have 11? I fail. I'm going to go with Unfeeling Recursion. You complete this battle tactic if there are 3 or more friendly Ossiarch Bonereaper units on the battlefield that had a model returned to them in this turn, using the Reknit Construct command ability, and did not have any models slain in this turn. So I've got 3 units that happen to be missing, 3 models, and 11 command points, so, you know, feel pretty alright about that.
Just 10 command points, Brendan.
Oh, sorry, yes, just 10. Heroic action to you first, sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and find a star with my Vampire Lord.
Cool. In the hero phase, we're going to heal Catacross, heal the Morghast, heal the ponies. With Catacross, he's going to use his once per turn free command point to get his aura of +1 to hit, +1 to save going.
Sure.
We're going to use the Liege Cavalos's free 1 per turn to get these to +1 attack.
The Morghast, got it.
Yep.
And for those, they don't count as spending a command point, so I don't get to roll to try to get one as well.
Mm-hmm. We got to decide what to do with you. Only a couple of units in range. Catacross is going to hand out his table-wide -1 to hit. We'll go with the Skeletones.
Also, at the start of the hero phase here, I'm going to stop the Terminus clock from Gorslav. And now on a 3-up, Brendan's going to get -1 to cast for the turn. I got a 5, so -1 to cast for Brendan for the turn.
Right.
This used to be a once per game artifact, but now they've moved it to a roll to see if it goes off, and you can use it every round.
Alright, my buddy Belmorn over there, I'm going to see if at least a Mortal Woundstream on a 4-up, he's going to take D3.
Okay, out of the
shrine.
The Nexus.
The Nexus, yeah, that's what it's called. Failed.
Okay.
Time to cast. So, one of the really cool things about the Soul Mason is he knows the entire spell lore for the Ossiarch Bonereapers. So, that is just a fair few. One of the things that you'll see me try and cast at some point during the game is Soul Release. That's not going to come up till later, because one of the things that Nick can do is bring units out of the gravesite 3 inches away from units. Soul Release prevents him from setting up summoned or reserved units within 12 inches of the Soul Mason. Right now, that's not particularly helpful. So we're going to try and improve one of the new battle traits for the Bonereapers army. All 6s to hit explode into 2 hits, except for mounts. So we have Empower Nadirite weapons. This casts on a 5 on -1 to cast. Get it on a 5.
Okay. I'll attempt to unbind that with Belladama. She's at +1 to unbind. She is not going to unbind it, though.
All right. So 5s and 6s to hit on my Morghast are going to be 2 hits instead of 1.
Seems good.
Then my second is going to be Reinforced Constructs. So this casts on a 5. This is a ward of a 4-up against mortal wounds. Get that with a 6.
Okay. I'll attempt to unbind that as well. And I got a 7 goes to 8.
Okay. Then at the end of the hero phase, I get to roll a dice. On a 1, nothing happens. Roll a 5, so I get to cast Soul Guide once. And this casts on a 6. I can pick a friendly Mortec Guard or Cavalos Death Rider unit wholly within 24 inches. And I add 1 to the wound rolls. So I get that on a 7.
Okay, I'll attempt to unbind that with my Vampire Lord. No bonuses here, but I blocked it on a 9.
Good. Okay, so we are going to come over to the movement phase.
I'm going to redeploy my unit of 20 zombies here. And they're going to go 5.
So in order to get my battle tactic, it has to be a command issued at the end of the movement phase. So for all of the units that are going to be being reknit, I can't use the +3 to movement. End of the movement phase, I'm going to spend 3 points to reknit constructs. Pretty straightforward, right? Just try and close the door a little bit on securing that objective. There's a lot of models that I need to kill, so it's time to start killing them if we can. I mean, that's pretty much it. Got my hardest hitting units in front, and that's what that's just what we're going to do. We're just going to try and hit you hard. I wish there was more strategy to this, but...
One of the unusual things that you'll see in the video there is during the movement phase, Brendan's command points were ticking down as he was spending them, and my command points were ticking up because I kept hitting those 4-ups on the roll, and then 3 more from the arena constructs. I now have way more command points than I know what to do with.
I'm actually going to spend 1 more to heal the Leech Cavalos.
Okay. That brings you to 3. On a 4. Got it.
Okay. Got a couple of charges to do here. So, one that's the most important is these guys right here. So Cavalos Death Riders are going to attempt to charge. They get +1 for the banner. That's a 10. So the unmodified is a 10, so we'll go 11 if we have to. This is where I could spend a command point if I wanted to move through things that are wounds characteristic or 1 or 2. I don't want to. Right. So I get to roll 10 dice for impact hits. Every 5 up is a mortal. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 mortal wounds, please.
Okay, sounds good. I get on the zombies there a 6-up. They're not in range of the bubble for a 5-up, but they're on a 6-up. They're going to fail all those. I'm going to lose 4 zombies.
Next up is the Morghast. They're going to give it a go. They get a 7. Question is where do I want to put them? Next up, we'll try and charge with the Leech Cavalos, because I'm a sucker for punishment. It's a 7. 9. He has impact hits as well. It's exactly the same as what the Cavalos Death Riders use. So we're going to roll 9 dice and impact hit these zombies for 1 mortal wound.
Okay. They've got their 6-up. They'll take it. 1 more dead zombie. Now, importantly, the zombies that are dying in the charge phase here or out of the attack sequence, they're not kicking back mortal wounds. It's only for attacks.
Yep. Catacross will stay there and politely ignore Lord Velmorn there.
Oh, Velmorn cannot stand for this.
It's fine. Come at me, bro. Find out how good Indicott is right now. Okay, so then next up is the combat phase. So there's a number of things that have to trigger at the start of the combat phase now. If you're going to use the abilities, one of them is picking up an additional rend, which is pretty good. At the start of the combat phase, I'm going to spend 1 of those points for an extra point of rend on my Morghast to bring them up to rend 2.
Sounds good.
In case I find a way to get into those skeletons.
And I failed the roll to get a command to steal that command point, so I'll get you on 2.
Yep. So right now, Catacross has everybody at +1 to hit and +1 to save for the whole army, which is really stupid good. So we will we'll get started with attacking here. There's not going to be a way to get to his Vampire Lord, and that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start our fighting with the Morghast here. All right, so the Morghast Archai are 6 attacks right now. This is the +1 attack from the Leech Cavalos. They're hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s, rend 2. No one can do anything about that right now.
Yeah, I can't all-out defense because those Morghasts are within 3 inches of me, right?
Very scary, yeah.
Strong new rule.
Strong new rule. All right, so we'll do the first one against the unit of zombies. That is...
And this is against the front unit of zombies here?
Correct. So these are 6 attacks, 2s and 3s, 5s and 6s explode. All right, so all hits with 1 explosion. Not bad. So that'll be 6 at rend 2 for 2 damage each for a total of 12 damage.
Okay. First up, I've got 6-up wards. And I'm going to make 2 of those, so I'm going to lose 10 of these zombies. With 10 zombies dying, I'm going to try to kick back some mortal wounds here before we move on to the next step. On a 5, they'll do a mortal wound to the Morghast, and spicy roll of 5 mortal wounds going to come at them
Of course, this won't happen until after their sequence.
Yep. So these are 5-ups because they're wholly within 12 inches of a hero. Fill them all.
Okay, 5 damage from the zombies. That is solid output from the zombies.
Then we have 6 attacks. We're going to put them into the skeletons because we can't afford to, any more zombie nonsense here.
Can't all out defense, but they do have the Mystic Shield.
Yep. 2s and 3s. Whoop. One went overboard. All right. So 1 explosion. So the one that missed will hit. So that is going to be 3 at Ren 2, please.
3 at Ren 2. I'm just going to have the 6 up from that Mystic Shield. And I'm going to pass one of them.
2 damage each.
Okay, so 4 damage total here. And we'll have a... I am in range of the Necromancer and his artifact, so these are going to be a 5-up ward. And I'm going to pass one of those. So I'm going to lose 3 skeletons.
Bummer. So that's the Morghast. That was a little underwhelming, but next time. Over to you.
All right, I am going to activate with my my front screen of zombies. They're going to be dead right after this, so I'm going to activate with them, expecting that I'll maybe get some extra output later on. Now, zombies are up to 2 attacks base, so these are going to be 12 attacks on 5s and 4s. One of them is going into the Liege Cavalos, and the rest are into the Death Riders.
Both are spending points to be +1 ward.
Okay, so they go to a 5-up ward. Mm-hmm. So into the Cavalos, 5s and 4s, nothing. And then into the Death Riders, 5s and 4s, got 3 hits and 2 wounds, no rent.
3 up. Good.
Okay.
Alright, so next up we'll fight with the Liege Cavalos, allocating all of my attacks into the zombies in a hopefully not vain attempt to kill them all so that the Cavalos Death Riders can try and kill your general. Alright, in the aura of Catacross, so we have 5 attacks with the sword at 2s and 3s, 6s explode. Yikes. Alright. 2 at rend 1, 2 damage apiece.
Okay, that will give 4 damage, 4 6-up wards. And I'm going to pass one of them. That is 3 dead zombies. You've got some horse attacks, though, right?
My horsey attacks.
Let's see if I do any mortals with those 3 dead zombies. And I do not.
Okay, so this is 6 attacks, 2s and 3s, no explosions here. Okay, 5 hits. That is 5 at rend 1, 1 damage each.
5 at rend 1, 1 damage each. It's going to be just 6-up wards. I'm going to pass 2 of those, 3 of those. It's going to kill 2 zombies. 1 lone zombie is going to remain alive, but I don't think he can do very much here. The 2 that died are going to try to kick back, and they do 1 mortal wound into the Cavalos.
5 up, good. Over to you.
My 20 block of zombies is then going to pile in. Not going to get a ton of attacks here out of the zombies, but I was able to bubble wrap a little bit with some things. Oh, I'm not going to spend all out attack because of the Morghast, but they did get +1 attack from the Vampire Lord at the start of the combat phase, so each of them that are in combat are going to be on 3 attacks. And at this point, I've got, because they're in the Galley Vets Battalion, they've got the half within a half. So I've got 8 of them. I'm going to put all of those into the Morghasts, and they are going to be on 5s and 4s. And because the Corpse Guard is here, they're going to be doing mortal wounds on 6s to wound. They're wholly within range of that. So 8 of them, 24 total attacks here. Unfortunately, just hitting on 5s. But they do have exploding 6s from Belladama. So total of 5 hits, but 3 extras from Killing Moon. And then 4's the wound. We're just going to have 1 additional mortal wound. Excuse me, one additional mortal wound and 5 at no rent.
Okay, so 3s. I failed 2 of them.
Okay, so a total of 3 damage.
Yep, 5 up. Well,
that is a dead Morghast.
it's dead Morghast.
The zombies, they're big.
So next up is the pylon for the ponies. They get a 6-inch pylon. Okay. So we're going to have 4 into that unit of 20 zombies.
Okay.
One of which is the champion. Then we've got 1 guy into the 1 lone zombie.
Brave champion.
One brave idiot. So they are 3 attacks apiece, 2s and 4s, because of Catacross. Alright, 2 hits. 1 at -1 on that zombie, 1 damage.
Okay. Goes straight through, just a 6-up ward, and I'll fail that. Gonna try to kick back, and he is gonna kick back 1 mortal wound.
5 up. Oop, keep losing these. Alright, I take 1. So then the remainder are going to target that larger unit of zombies that has so disgracefully killed a Morghast. 3s. Leaner. 6s explode. Rolled 2 of those. 5 4s. Whoa. Alright, 4 at rend 1, 1 damage apiece.
Okay, that's just going to be 4 6-up wards here. They're out of range of the 5-up ward now, but I'm going to make 1 of those. Going to lose 3 zombies. Going to try to kick back mortals on 5s. Going to kick back 1 more.
Ignored. Alright, then the 4 ponies are 2s and 4s. These do not explode. Alright, 3 at no rend, 1 damage each.
Okay, 3 6-up saves. They do have a 6-up save now. Nice improvement for the zombies, but failed those. 3 6-up wards. Failed those. 3 5-up mortals back. That is 2 mortal wounds back.
5 up, fail them both. I lose a pony.
Okay. My next activation then is going to be with my Vampire Lord. He's going to pile in his 3 inches and make his attacks. Stay on the objective. All the attacks going into the ponies here. He's on 5 3s and 3s, and I can all-out attack him because he's not next to the Morghast, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. He's finest houred right now, so these are actually going to be 5 2s and 2s. 6s become 2 hits.
Nice.
Going to lose 1 of them, but gain 1 of them because of the Killing Moon. And so that is going to be 5 at -1.
Alright, 4s.
Oh,
Fail them all.
10 damage.
Okay.
Never has a Vampire Lord looked so good.
5 ups. Alright, pony. Take 1. Man.
And he would heal from the hunger here, but of course he hasn't taken any wounds yet. My next activation then is going to be with this big block of zombies. So the pile in here gets them within, wholly within 12 inches of the corpse cart, and I've got 10 of them in range that can fight. 9 of them in range that can fight, and they're going to put all their attacks into that Morghast. That's going to be 18 attacks. Hitting on 5s. But I am still exploding 6s here. Absolutely huge aura from Belladama on that. So I am going to get 4 extra hits as a result of that. So we've got a total of 9 hits. And then we're looking for 4s, but 6s here will do a mortal in addition. So 2 mortal wounds in addition, and 4 saves to make.
Okay. Saves are on 3 ups. Okay. And then 5s. Take 3.
Okay.
Got 1 left. Okay.
My last activation then is with the skeletons. Not going to get a lot of them in. Just 5 of the skeletons in, and they're 1 attack each. But Brendan has given them -1 to hit. I can't all attack them, so these are going to be 5s and 3s. They will get a rend though. 1 hit that explodes and 1 additional, and then that is going to be 1 at -1.
Good.
Good. So, I mean, that's our turn here.
Yeah, so Battle Shock. I don't take it because I'm Bonereapers.
Sure. I've lost 6 of the zombies in the middle. I can't Inspiring Presence them because of the Morghast, which, I mean, that ability has been really, really good here. So I will try to pass the Battle Shock phase. They're Bravery 10, and I roll a 5. That is going to be 1 more that runs away. And again, no kickback mortals on these that run. My skeletons lost 3, so they're going to be fine.
Okay. As far as scoring goes, not great. You outnumber me there. I get my battle tactic, though, which was reknit my units here for 2. So, not a great turn. I don't super love the exchange that I took with the zombies, and really the rest of stuff here. And I don't even know that a double turn really helps me too much. But you know, we got some points out of it, and that's what matters. And what is going to do the most damage in my army hasn't exactly arrived.
Right.
So for that, I'm okay. But
yeah, I mean that turn went way better than I expected. I mean it went how I dreamed this army is going to work. But oftentimes these dreams don't come to fruition on the table. And this was certainly nice. Just the volume of bodies and then those kickback mortal wounds coming in big. You took a lot of damage from those.
A lot of damage.
So, you know, it's hard for me to say that zombies have gotten worse.
Fair.
Yeah, so I did lose 1 unit of zombies in entirety, so I've got some options to bring things back. And we've got a priority roll here.
Yes, we do. 6.
I do not beat your 6. You have the choice.
I gotta take it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll reset all of these command points, and we'll go into Ossiarch, top of 2.
Yep. So I haven't lost any units, so I will be starting with 8 here.
And I will hopefully be starting with 3, but you're going to check.
Yep, you get 3.
Okay.
We are going to try and gain some momentum here.
Sure.
The unit we're going to try and kill is that unit of 14 zombies that's sitting out front.
Makes sense.
And we'll go heroic action, extra command point with the Liege Cavalos. Nope.
My heroic action here is going to be a fight with that vampire
Lord in the combat phase as a galley champion. So
seems good to me.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of the things that juiced him up last turn, but under Killing Moon is still up. So he's going to have 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, and exploding 6s. And he's going to drop 2 and then gain 2 from those exploding 6s. And looking for 3s. That is going to be 4 at -1.
Okay, these are 5s because Catacros's ability is down. Failed 2.
2 damage each.
Okay. These are 6s. Alright.
Okay, a little extra damage coming.
Regular bit of the hero.
One thing that should be noted is Virkos has an ability to chain fight with all of its heroes, but that's only in the combat phase, specific to that.
So Catacross is going to heal some units. You want to see if your clock is...
Yeah, let's check the Terminus clock on a 3-up.
Is it angry at me?
Nope. You have...
Alright! Thank goodness!
It's what you were lacking.
Yeah. With the bone tide thing here, not a lot of things in range. So we will 4-up, try and do D3 mortal wounds to your general. Nope. The enemy unit did not die within 12 of the bone tide nexus, so sad days for everybody. Free point from Catacross, get his bubble going.
Sure.
Free point from the Liege Cavalos, give +1 attack to these Mortec here.
Sounds good. The Endless Duty.
Yeah. We are going to hand out -1 to hit again to the Skeletones.
Yeah.
We are going to... We'll start with the Bone Tide Shrieker. Cast on a 5. Get it on a 6.
Okay, I will attempt to unbind that with Belladama. She's at +1. But it will go off. That's real big. That is definitely very detrimental against my army.
The big thing with it now is it hands out an aura of -1 to ward, and you can't Inspiring Presence or Rally while it's within 12 inches.
Yeah, and that 12-inch bubble is really big.
Yeah. Second spell, we're going to do Exploding hits on 5s. Get that with an 8.
I will attempt to unbind that as well with Belladama, and I got an 8 as well, so it goes off.
Alright, so we're going to give that to Mortec.
They're starting to get scared.
I wonder what I'm going to do. End of the hero phase. See if we can soul guide some things. We can. Get 1 unit. So on a 5, that fails. We're going to spend 1 on the Liege Cavalos to retreat and charge.
Okay, I'll try to get that on a 4-up. And I don't.
Movement's pretty straightforward here. I really just want to get my stuff in, right? I've got my turbocharged unit of Mortec up here. Catacross is pretty good nowadays, so I'd like to see him in combat a little bit. Him tabling doesn't super mean a ton personally, other than just like try and keep him from really dying. But we've got the Liege Cavalos backed up to try and do a charge and do some more mortal wounds, and feel alright about it. We're gonna heal D3 with Renit for 3, and that'll bring me down to 4.
Yep. All right, at the end of Brendan's movement phase here, a cool rule now is that Soulblight gets to summon at the end of the movement phase, so this is going to be a 4-up. On my turn, it's 3-up. On Brendan's turn, it's a 4-up. And I'm not going to get it.
So shooting, very funny. We'll start with the Mortec Guard. They get +1 to charge with their banner. So that's a 12.
Seems good.
Yeah, seems all right. We'll give Catacross a go here next. It's like a 4. We got the 6. Good chunk. Last up is the Liege Cavalos with a 4. It's not going to get me anywhere, and quite frankly, I think I'm okay with that.
Okay.
So, cool. So the start of the combat phase would be the time to declare if I'm going to try and bludgeon you to death.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. I'll go over to your start of combat phase abilities.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. So the skeletons I get to roll if they come back. They don't even have to be in combat for this to go off. So on 4-ups for the 3 missing models, I will get 2 of them back. My Sons of Elmorn are going to kick on their shield wall, and the Vampire Lord is going to give +1 attack to the unit of skeletons, as long as he's alive.
So we're going to start with trying to kill Vampire Lord.
Sure, Catacross going in.
Yeah, Catacross is going to declare this one's mine, or do nothing, this one's mine.
And Catacross gets to come down the steps.
Come down the steps. So first, his little peons will try and stab the Vampire Lord.
Okay, I will all-out defense here. I don't think it's going to help, but I'll do it.
The little retinue blades are 2s and 3s because they are also affected by Catacross's ability. 6s explode. They all hit.
Are they a crew or a mount?
Oh, maybe.
Or a companion?
They are companions, so they do not explode. Thank you, Nick. So, hits.
Yep.
3s. Alright, that is going to be 5 at Rend 1, please.
Okay, 5 at Rend 1 is canceled out by that all-out defense. It's going to be 3s. I'm going to fail 3 of them. 1 damage each.
No ward save.
Oh, no ward save because of
your ward.
Yeah. So 3 damage on the Vampire Lord.
Bone-Tide Shrieker coming in clutch.
Yeah.
Catacross will, because he's a real jerk, he's going to hit you with his shield first.
Sure.
So these are 4 attacks at 2s and 3s. These do explode.
Okay.
And
ooh, 6 hits out of 4 attacks. Pretty good.
3 wounds at Rend 2.
Okay, Rend 2 is going to put me on 4-ups. And I'm going to make 2 of those.
2 damage.
2 damage. Again, no ward. And with that, he is just dead.
Doesn't even get to stab you with Indicott.
Yeah. That's my strategy. My activation then.
Yep.
I'll activate with that unit of zombies in front. Got 12 of the zombies in here.
They are on 2 attacks apiece, and I am going to spend for all-out attack here, so these are going to be 4s and 4s.
I'm going to spend a point here to up my ward save to a 5.
Okay. I'm going to have a total of 24 attacks here, and these will be 4s and 4s, 6s to hit explode, 6s to wound do mortals. And so we're going to have just 1 mortal wound.
Okay.
But I'm going to have you make 9 saves as well.
Okay. So these are going to be 3-ups with Catacross. I failed 2, 3, and then we'll grab the mortal wound here real quick.
Sure.
So these are 5-ups from the... Alright, cool. I lose 2 guys.
Okay.
Okay, my next pile will be with the horse.
Sure.
He moves 0 because I really can't get in range of anything, and that's my activation.
Sure. My next activation will be with the skeletons that are in combat, and they are going to effectively stay exactly where they're at.
Cool. So I have 18 guys here. They're 3 attacks apiece because of the Liege Cavalos. So that's going to be 54 attacks plus
Seems
the champion,
good.
55. So we're going to do a couple of handfuls a couple of different times.
If you don't mind, I will pull them, but if you want to roll this out, you can go ahead.
Yeah, you can pull them.
Okay, I mean, there's no way they're going to come out of this. They are all going to die in combat with the Mortec Guard, so I'm going to have 13 dice here, and on 5s, they're going to kick back some mortal wounds.
Okay.
Overall, pretty good. That is going to be
4?
Yeah, 4 of them.
Cool. Alright, 5-ups. Alright, go 3.
I am done with activations. I don't have another one to do. The skeletons have already activated.
I'm done.
Okay.
So that comes over to Battle Shock. I don't have to test.
Nothing to worry about on my side.
Exactly. Alright, so we go over to scoring. I hold 1, I hold more. I got my battle tactic for gaining momentum for blasting those zombies to the moon. And so that'll give me 4. Bottom of 2. So I'm going to see if I can steal your command point real quick.
Sure.
5 up. Ha! None.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I don't get a command point here.
I do.
Yeah. Belladama here being a War Master means I still would get my command point, if not for Brendan being so selfish about those. For my battle tactic here, I'm going to take the Grasping Dead, pick one friendly summonable unit within 3 inches of any enemy units. I'll pick the skeletons, and I complete the tactic if they're within 3 inches of any enemy units at the end of this turn. I can only fail it if the skeletons all die or the Mortec all die, and I don't think either of those is likely to happen here, but it might.
Hard maybe. So heroic action.
My heroic action here is going to be the Virko special heroic action, and just add D3 models to the unit of direwolves. And we're going to get one extra direwolf. Now, technically, right now, as it's written, you can go ahead and add models to the corpse cart unit, but that doesn't seem correct. So, going to go ahead and pass on that. And your heroic action, Brendan?
I'm going to heroic action turn the Liege Cavalos into a wizard.
Okay.
Also, at the start of the hero phase, I'm going to spend his free once per turn command point to try and rally my ponies.
Sounds good.
None.
Okay.
Barely added to 6 too.
Into casting here. First up, Belladama is going to attempt to cast Under a Killing Moon. She's at +2 still, and going to get that on an 11. My casting rolls have been hot.
Yeah, you can have that one.
Okay.
I don't feel like rolling box cards right now.
Sure. So that's that bubble of exploding 6s that's been so good so far. Then going to attempt to cast Ravanax Gnashing Jaws with Belladama. Again at +2, just going to get that on a 7.
I'll see if the Liege Cavalos can get rid of that.
Oh, tied it, so it will go off. My Necromancer is going to attempt to cast Fading Vigor. Rather than Van Hell's here, he's got +1 to cast from the corpse cart, and going to get that on a 7.
Alright, Soul Mason will give it a go. You get it?
Okay. That's going to go on the unit of Mortek Guard to reduce their attack count. And then Torgilius is going to attempt to cast Waste Away. And he's got a 6. And 6 is the casting number, so that's going to go off.
Okay, Soul Mason's last unbind will take a crack at this. You get it with the 6.
Okay, Waste Away. That's going to go on the unit of Mortek Guard, which seems a little bit strange, I know, but Mortek Guard wound very poorly. So putting them to 5 to wound is really going to be consequential here. So I'll put that on that upfront unit of Mortek.
So -1 attack, -1 to wound, and -1 damage.
-1 damage,
which is relevant for the great weapon.
Oh, the great weapons. There we go. Okay. But the -1 to wound, very big against Mortek, as it always has been. That's all of my casting. We can get into the end of the hero phase first. First, Ravanax is going to move, and then you'll have the opportunity to move yours. Ravanax goes 3d6 inches, and I can reroll because I cast it this turn. That is 9. I'm gonna go ahead and risk it for the biscuit here. We're gonna reroll. Oh, 16.
Oof.
And I mean, it's a rare opportunity that you get a chance to do this much damage to something as frightening as Catacross. So I am going to drop it right in front of him.
Okay.
And we're going to dump all those mortal wounds into Catacross. That is 12 mortal wounds.
Give me the 2-up.
On a 2-up. And I rolled the 1. I'm going to lose 12 mortal wounds.
Thank you. Chow. Lightning McQueen out here.
Oh, big roll, big roll. That's how it goes, though. And then we'll get you get to move your
mine.
Yeah.
Movements.
And then we'll get into movement phase. At the end of the movement phase, a couple things are going to happen here. I'm going to bring a unit out of Deep Strike, my Graveguard, and then I'm also going to do some resummoning. So Gorslav is going to bring back 10 zombies automatically, and I'll bring back the other 10 zombies on a 3-up. Nope. So 10 zombies coming back, and then my unit of Graveguard coming up. Movement phase here was relatively straightforward. I've got some things locked in combat, and I just consolidated my zombies a little bit closer so they can attempt to charge and get things in. And I also brought the Sons of Velmorn up. They've got an anti-pile-in ability, and against a unit like the Mortek Guard, shutting off pile-in is just incredibly good. So I'd love to pop that off, but we'll see what we can do here. Now, the Graveguard came out of the grave, and I got one of my summons from Gorslav, or one of my resummons, but when the Graveguard came out of the grave, if they come down within 12 inches of the Leech Cavalos, they're at -3 to charge. So I had to stay outside of that, so they are going to have a 10-inch charge out of that Deep Strike. We'll get into shooting, and I'm not used to having shooting here, but I do from Torgilius, so he is going to attempt his shots here, and he is going to put all of them into the Death Rider, the one remaining Death Rider.
Ooh.
So he's got 2d6 shots.
I will do Catacross's free per turn to do all-out defense.
Okay. And I've got 2d6 shots here. That's going to be 6 shots, and they are going to be hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s. That is going to be 3 hits. I don't get the explosions here. That's melee only. So none of them go through. It was worth a shot. I'm glad to have some shooting. Into charges. Mm-hmm. King Velmorn is going to attempt to charge.
No minuses to hit.
He's got an 8. He's going to tag the extreme end of them.
So with that, I'm going to spend a command point to reform ranks and be +1 to wound against the Lord Velmorn.
Okay. On a 4-up, I'll get a command point. And I do. My Graveguard are going to attempt their charge. They need a 10 like we discussed. and they got a 9. Ooh. They got no bonuses. I am going to go ahead and spend a command point to re-roll that. And they're going to fail that with a 7.
All right.
So that 1-inch difference there on Deep Strike coming huge there. Next up, we've got the Sons of Elmorn. They are -3 to charge here because of the Liege Cavalos. They've got a 9, that goes to 6.
I'll hold the counter charge.
And then I'm going to charge with my big block of zombies, the 40 zombies. They are also at -3. And so 7 goes to 4. And with that charge roll, I am going to leave them out of combat here. That's it for my charges. We can get into the start of combat. I've got a couple things to do.
Yeah.
So my missing skeleton on a 4-up, I'll get him back. And I do. They're back at full strength. The Sons of Elmorn are going to put up their shield wall, so they can't pile in, but they do have a 3-up save now. And then they are going to attempt to make it so the Grave Guard, the Mortek Guard can't pile in. That will happen on a 2-up. And they do. So the pile-in is shut off for those Mortek.
Alright. So nothing really to do for them then. We'll spend a point to give them an extra point to rend out here.
Sure.
Against our good friend Mr. Velmorn.
Alright, going into combat then, my first activation is going to be with King Velmorn into your unit of Mortek here.
I'm shocked.
He's got 5 attacks on the Baleful Tombblade. These are going to be 3s and 3s.
Oof!
That is going to be... So that's going to... With the 2 6s, each of those is 2 mortal wounds. So that's going to be 4 mortal wounds and then 2 wound rolls on 3s. Going to make 1 of those. So 1 save at -1 and 4 mortal wounds.
4 up. Okay, 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
6s.
So 6 total.
Alright, I saved 2, so
Okay.
I'll take 4.
The king has been slighted. He's upset.
I believe it. Okay, so I can't pile in, so we only got who we got. So we're outside of 1 here, which means I'm only going to have 3 that can fight the Sons of Elmorn in there. I'm -1 attack, -1 to wound, -1 damage. That's not relevant here because those are all my damage 1 models. So this is going to be a total of 6 attacks on 2s and 5s. 5s and 6s explode. Okay, well, by 5s. So that is going to be 2 at rend 1.
Wounding on 5s is not the greatest feeling. 3s go to 4s here. And I'm going to make 1 and fail 1. 1 damage. And we'll put that on one of the less impactful of the Sons of Elmorn.
Over to you.
Yeah, my next activation is going to be with those Sons of Elmorn then. And they're going to... They can't pile in, so they're going to put the attacks that they can into the unit of Mortek. One of them is out of range, so... just have 3 profiles.
So with your allocation, I'm going to all-out defense.
Sure. And I will see if I can steal that command point as well on a 4. And I do not. So the white axe will not attack here. But first up, we're going to have the white blade. It's going to be 2 attacks on 3s and 3s. And 6s here will explode, but both of those miss.
Things are going great here.
The Great White Blade is just 1 attack on 4s and 3s. Hits. And wounds. That one's going to be at -1.
Alright, so a 3-up. Failed. Damage.
2 damage on that one.
6s. Alright. Take 2.
Sir Jedrin Falseborn has 3 attacks at 3s and 3s. That's going to be 3 hits. And just 1 wound, but because it was a 6 to wound, it's 1 mortal wound in addition, and 1 at -1.
Okay, 3s. Good.
Okay, so just 1 mortal wound.
Take it.
And then the white axe is out of range.
My next activation is going to be with the unit fighting Mr. Velmorn. So this is going to be 13 attacks. Alright, so these are going to be 13 attacks at 2s and 3s. 6s explode. Rend 2.
I will go ahead and all out defense here.
Okay, so I miss with 2. I get 2 explosions. Perfect. 8 at Rend 2, please.
8 at Rend 2. With the all-out defense, these are going to be 2s up to 4s. I'm going to fail 6 of those, and then 1 damage each, so a 6 on the board. I'm going to pass 3 and take 3. And then my last activation is with the skeletons. You've already activated with the Mortec, right?
Yep. Come get me, bro.
So, just 9 of the skeletons coming in. They are still -1 to hit from Cat Crows. So these are going to be hitting on 5s, wounding on 3s. So 5s. The exploding 6s here are going to help out a lot with these rough profiles. So 2 more hits, and then wounding on 3s. That is going to be 4, and they do have Rend because they outnumbered you, so 4
Okay.
-1.
So it'll be 3s. 1 gets through.
And 1 damage.
6s. 1.
So, into scoring here, you're still going to hold the center objective. You've got more models on it than I do. But I did get my battle tactic. The skeletons are still locked up. I don't have any bravery that I need to worry about anywhere. How about you? You don't worry about bravery.
Whole point of the army.
Yeah. So, I'm going to get just 2 for my battle tactic here. And we've got a priority roll into round 3.
Well, before that, the objective splits.
Yes, we'll see where they end up.
So I'm the defender. So 1 to 2 is there.
Okay.
3 to 4 is that. 5 to 6 is in the middle.
Okay.
All right. 5 to 6.
Okay, so they're going to be in the middle. So the center objective is gone, and we'll get the new objectives on. So that was kind of best case scenario for me for the objectives to come down. I feel pretty good about those locations. This center objective is now turned off, and we've got a priority roll for round 3.
Yes, we do. Let's see it. 6.
Oh, you keep up with the 6s. You've got the choice.
I think I gotta take it.
Okay.
You don't know a world in which it's advantageous to me to just let you castle up on effectively both of them potentially.
Sure.
So, yep. So we'll do that.
All right, we'll go into top of 3 Bonereapers. Check if I get my command point from
Yeah, sure.
Belladama.
Ha!
And I do not. So I'm going to start with just 2.
I am going to start with 8. You have not killed a unit yet, despite your best efforts and some of my efforts. We'll do this one's mine with the Liege Cavalos. He's going to pick the Sons of Elmorn to try and kill.
Sounds good.
For my heroic action, I'm going to try and turn the Liege Cavalos into a wizard and immediately attempt to get rid of Jaws.
Okay, sounds good.
The last thing I can afford is you actually rolling another 16. What's the natural cast value? 6?
Ravenex casts on a 6. So you'll need a 7.
Let's see it. Ugh.
Oh.
Bummer. Okay, heroic action to you.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get a command point from, we'll do a command point from Belladama on a 4-up. Yes.
Nice.
And then I am going to, with her, attempt to get rid of the Shrieker.
What? No.
Cast on a 5. She's at +1 to dispel, so she needs a 5 on the dice. And she gets a 5 on the dice and immediately gets rid of it. Thank goodness.
Okay. Also, starting the hero phase, I'm going to try and rally my Morghast. So it brings me down to a 7. Oh, I saw it, but
On a 4-up, I do not get it.
okay. So over to the regular bit of the hero phase where we do some healing. Also in the hero phase, we'll use his free one to get his bubble going. We'll use his free one to give them +1 attack, because that being tied up there isn't the worst thing in the world.
To give the Mortec +1 attack or the
These Mortec,
Okay.
yeah, +1 attack. Okay. We will hand out -1 to hit to Graveguard.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then we will, with the Shrine, attempt to kill Lord Velmorn. 4-up. I do. D3 mortal wounds for 2.
Okay. He has got a 6-up ward, and he fails both of those. That is going to kill Sir Belmorn.
Big. Casting time. I think this is time for us to think about Soul Release. Because trying to get over there and keep you off of it is going to be big.
I will stop the Terminus clock on a 3-up. You'll be -1 to cast.
Ooh. So we got some spells to pick here. I've got a group of Mortek who are useless. We're going to leave them useless. We'll start with Empower Weapons. Cast on a 5 naturally. I roll a 6. It's a 7 -1, so 6.
Okay. I'll attempt to unbind this with Torgilius. No bonuses here, but I got an 8, so that will stop that.
Right, and then we'll cast Soul Release. This casts on a 5. I get that with a 7.
Okay. This one I'm going to try to block with Belladonna. She's at +1. And I block it with a 9.
Bummer. Yeah, because the plan there was to try and run over to that grave site as close as humanly possible. Because what Soul Release does, it prevents him from putting summoned or reserve units within 12 inches of the caster, basically locking that piece of terrain out for me, potentially indefinitely. End of the hero phase, see if I can try and cast Soul Guide. I roll 4, so I can do it once. Give that a cast. Casting a 6. I roll an 8, which becomes a 7.
Necromancer is going to attempt to unbind that. No bonuses here. Rolled a 9, though, so that'll stop that.
Nothing for me.
Hot unbinds.
Okay. And that also means you get to move Ravanax.
Yeah, so Ravanax is going to go 3d6 inches. And 14. Well, it's not going to go far. We're just going to drop it in right here and put it on Catacross again on a 2-up. No!
Oh!
No! Oh, no! Heartbreaking.
Goodness gracious. Alright. So then it's up to us. Start of the movement phase. We're going to give a point to the Cavalos Death Riders to retreat and charge. So that'll be a spend, bringing me down to 6.
Okay. I will attempt to steal. Nope.
Okay. Over to movement.
And with that movement, I'm going to redeploy the Graveyard. They're going 4.
Yeah, the Objectives landing where they did was probably my least favorable landing of the 3. But that's okay. We've got this kind of weird tar pit thing going, which I'm fine with, I'm really honest. The goal here is to try and go get both of them, try and score a big turn, and make Nick's life really difficult. But you at the end of the movement phase can roll to try and summon some of those zombies back.
Yeah, I'm going to try to bring back some zombies, and I will get them on a 4-up because it's not my turn.
You do.
And I do. So 10 zombies coming back, half of the unit that was destroyed. And the really powerful thing about this rule is that these can now come down 3 inches away from the opponent. Alright, so my zombies have come down. That's the second unit I've summoned back this game, and we'll get into it.
We'll start with the Liege Cavalos. He rolls a 6. We are going to put those mortal wounds into the Sons of Belmorn.
Okay, they are currently on a 5-up ward.
I do 1 mortal wound.
Okay, 5 up. That is going to finish off one.
Okay. Charge with the Cavalos Death Riders. They get +1 to their charge. Good, because I roll a 6 natively, which becomes a 7. So another 6 dice headed their way. 2 mortal wounds.
Okay, 5 ups. And I'll fail those. That is going to kill another of these beautiful boys.
Beautiful bony boys. We're gonna give the Morghast a go here. Rolls a 6. The Mortek Guard will give it a go. I get +1 here because they're banner. 7, which becomes an 8. Feel pretty alright about that. No more charges to make. So start of the combat phase would be if I declare anything for Rend. I will spend a point of Rend for the Liege Cavalos. He's got to try and kill those guys.
So on a 4-up, I'll get one of those. And I do.
I'll spend a point for the Morghast to be an extra Rend.
On a 4, got it.
Okay.
My skeletons are at full strength, so I can't roll for them. My Vampire Lord's dead, so he can't do it. Just 2 things to declare then with the Sons of Elmorn. They're going to put up the shield wall, so they're going to go to a 3-up save, and they can't pile in. And then the Sons of Elmorn are also going to attempt to block the pile-in. So I'm going to do this on the Mortek Guard, maybe reduce their attacks a little bit. And on 2-up, they won't be able to pile in, so they cannot.
Cool. Alright, so my first activation... Morghast here. Drop everything into them.
Into the graveyard, makes sense.
Yep.
I am not able to all-out defense here, unfortunately.
Okay, perfect. Holy for 24, just as Catacross intended. Just as planned. So this is 5 attacks at 2s and 3s. 6s explode. Woof! 2 misses. 1 wound. Rend 2.
1, Rend 2 goes straight through. 2 damage is 6-ups. And they're going to take it to Dead Graveguard.
Ugh. That's not what I wanted.
I'm going to activate with my unit of 10 zombies that I summoned in this turn. And I can't do any command points here, so 20 at 5s and 4s. Good hit roll there. Looking for 4s to wound then. Unfortunately, no mortal wounds here.
Nice.
But yeah, super good roll. 8 at no rend.
Okay, 3-ups to Catacross. 2 get through, 3 get through. And then 6s. 2 get through.
Okay.
See, I knew it was 2.
Zombies killing Mortek.
Yeah. We're going to start here with the... so the skeletons can't... The Mortek can't pile in, but all my unit champions swing at the Sons of Elmorn. Hoping to get them as low as humanly possible before the Liege Cavalos gives them the business.
Okay. And then the rest going into the skeletons that can?
No.
This is the riders.
Yeah, so
okay, the riders.
I'm not going to be able to get
Sure.
that guy in. So it's 4 attacks to the riders, 2s and 4s, 6s that explode.
Okay.
2 6s, so...
Solid.
6 hits out of 4 attacks. There we go. So that is going to be 3 at Rend 1, please.
3 at Rend 1. They're a 3-up, so 4s.
Right.
Oh, I want to all-out defense here. So they're going to save 2 of those.
Yep.
So I failed 1 of those, 1 damage. They're in a 5-up ward bubble right now, so that'll get through.
Ponies are 2 attacks, 2s and 4s. 1, no minuses.
Okay. This will be a 2, and they're good.
Oh, good.
Interesting, the bonus they get to save from the shield wall, it sets their characteristic. It doesn't give them a +1 to save.
Okay.
I'm going to activate then with the Sons of Elmorn. They're going to put all their attacks into that unit of Death Riders that just went. Hopefully be able to take them off. We'll see how this goes. So the White Blade is going to be 2 3s and 3s. 6s here will explode. 1 hit and no wounds. And then the Great White Blade is going to be 3 attacks, also 3s and 3s. That is going to be 1 explosion and 1 miss, so we'll get 3 hits. And just 1 at -1.
These are
At the Riders.
Riders, okay. -1, so 4s. Damage.
2 damage on that one.
Alright, takes 1.
Okay.
Go over to me. We'll swing with the Mortek.
Sounds good.
2 at the Belmorn, 11 at the Skeletons. And of that 11, 2 of them are my Great Blades. And because I am -1 damage and -1 to wound, they are effectively the same profile.
And -1 attacks as well. Right?
Yes. Yeah. So that is going to be 12 total attacks from the champion. Boo. 12 attacks. Oof. 6 still explode. 3 at rend 1 on the skeletons.
Okay, they're going to go to a 6-up. And fail all those, and then a 5-up. And fail all those. I get to reroll 1s because of their banner, though. And they're going to fail all those. So that's going to be 3 dead skeletons.
Okay, and then the 2 at the Sons of Elmorn, 2s and 5s. Alright, it's an explosion, so I've got 3 hits. And 1 at rend -1.
1 at -1 and into the Sons of Elmorn is going to be 3s.
So you're all defensed.
And they're good. Going to activate then with my unit of skeletons. Going to be on 4s and 3s, 1 attack each, and then the leader gives them an extra attack, so 16 total attacks. 4s and 3s. 3s to wound. So that is going to be a total of 6 at -1 because they outnumber those Mortec.
Sure do. So these will be 4s. Right. Fail 3. 1 damage. This will be 6s. Fail 2. Lose 2.
Here go.
Yeah, I go indeed. We'll go with the Liege Cavalos.
Sure.
It's about time.
5 wounds left in this unit.
Yep. We'll start dramatically with the ponies. So this is 6 attacks with the ponies. They are 2s and 3s. Rend 2, damage 1. No explosions because they're ponies. So that'll be 4 at Rend 2, please.
Okay, 4 at Rend 2 are going to be 5s. And I'm going to make 2 of those. And they're 1 damage each, so I'll have 5-up wards. I'm going to make 1 of those. I'll take 1.
Alright. Big job here with the Commander's Blade. 5 attacks, 2s and 3s. Alright. 1 explosion. 6 hits. 4 at Rend 2, please.
4 at Rend 2, again, 5-ups.
2 each.
Going to fail that. I'm currently taking 6 damage. I've got 6 5-ups. Need to make at least 3 of these. And I made 3 of them. That is going to be 3 damage on Sir Jedrin Falseborn.
Failed battle tag.
And that unit will survive. The Sons of Elmorn showing why I thought they might be a good pick now in this new book. I'll activate with the zombies then. They're going to do their pile-in. We've got 9 zombies in here. These are going to be 2 attacks each. So a total of 18 attacks.
There you go.
And they're going to be hitting just on 5s, but 6s will explode. 4's a wound, but looking for 6s here. That is going to be 1 mortal wound in addition, and 3 at no rend into the leech.
2 up. Cool.
Just the mortal wound then.
1.
Okay.
Alright. Now to fight with my Mortec Guard. I'm going to declare shenanigans and do a whole shifting around kind of thing. Alright, so I got 16 in, 14 of which are the regular guys. So that's going to be 42 attacks, champion 43, and then another 6 off the Great Blades.
Would you like me to pull these zombies?
I'm cool with you pulling them.
Okay, well, we're going to see if they can do any mortal wounds back on 5s. And they do 2 back.
Okay. Take 2.
My activation then is going to be with the Grave Guard. They're going to pile in. I can't all-out attack here with my Grave Guard, even though I surely would like to. And they've got to split their attacks based on what's in here. So I'm going to have everything that can go into the Morghast and the rest into that unit of Mortec. But they are going to be hitting on 5s. So we've got a total of 23 attacks into the Morghast on 5s and 3s here. Woo. And 6s don't explode, unfortunately. This would be a very good roll if they did.
Be a great wound roll.
Wound on 3s, and looking for 6s for more wounds in addition. No mortal wounds, but that is going to be 9 at -1.
Alright, looking for 4s. Let's fail 4.
And each of those failures is 2 damage.
Alright, looking for 6s. That is a dead Morghast.
Ooh. Then I've got 6 of them, so 12 attacks into the Mortec. Also on 5s.
That's a little more normal.
Vastly worse. Just 2 hits and 3s to wound. That's going to be 1 mortal wound in addition and 2 at -1.
Alright, 4s. 2 each.
So 5 damage total.
3.
Okay.
Battle Shock o'clock.
Yeah, I only lost 2 Graveguard. They're good.
You only lost 3 skeletons.
Yep, and only 1 of the...
And you lost 3 Velmorn.
Yeah, 3 Velmorn, but they're good.
Yep. I hold 1.
Solid.
Bummer. Alright, so 1 point to me.
And we'll get into bottom of 3 Soulblight. I'll attempt to gain a command point. And you will definitely gain one.
Roll a 6. You don't.
I don't. For my battle tactic this turn, I'm going to do Expand the Grave Empires. You complete this tactic if I control 2 or more objectives outside of my territory, wholly outside my territory, and both of them are contested by either summonable or vampire units.
Oof.
And since there's only 2 objectives on the field, that makes it clear what I'm going for. My heroic action then is going to be Belladonna is going to try to add some wolves to this unit. D3 of them, going to get 1 direwolf into the unit.
I'm going to turn the Leech Cavalos into a wizard, and we're going to try and get rid of Jaws. I mean, I shouldn't, right? It hasn't,
Hasn't done anything.
At some point you're going to roll a 2. Yeah.
It's staying. Into casting, Belladonna is going to attempt Under a Killing Moon. She's at +2 currently. Going to get that on a 7.
Yeah, we'll stop that. Holy Within 24 is a nightmare. You get it.
Okay. And then going to attempt, also with her, we're going to attempt Lichen Curse. And going to fail that with a 6. Woo. Deathless Invocations here. We're going to bring 3 skeletons back into the unit of skeletons, obviously. Sorry to make that so complicated for you.
Wolves.
And then also going to heal 3 wounds to Sir Jedrin here. So he's back up to full. Torgilius is going to attempt to cast Fading Vigor. And going to fail that with a 3. And then my Necromancer is going to attempt to cast Waste Away. And going to get that on a 6.
Alright, it's your last cast, right? It's my last Unbind.
6.
You get it, because I rolled a 2.
Okay. That is going to go on that same unit of Mortec. It's been so big to keep them just locked in combat and not doing very much. So they're -1 to wound and -1 damage. That's it for my casting. So at the end of the hero phase then, Ravenax is going to move 3d6.
Oh my god!
And the trend continues. That is 15.
Is he chasing Catacross?
I don't know. And we're going to try it one more time. We are going to try to put all of these mortal wounds into Catacross. See what we can do.
Let's see that one!
On a 2-up. That's a 1 again. 3 in a row. Oh my goodness. If that would have been going for me, this would be a very different game at this point.
Yeah, Catacross would be like dead.
And
that would be what we call in the business. Bad.
Dead. And then we'll get into movement.
Okay. We use Catacross's free point this turn to redeploy.
Sure. The Mortec.
Yep. Free point. 5.
5-inch redeploy. Big.
Big if true.
Big redeploy there.
Yeah, now I'm betting the game on a 3-up.
Movement here was fairly straightforward. I got a lot locked up in combat, so I didn't really have an opportunity to do much, but I got some things pushed out to the wings, especially those dire wolves, and with Brendan's big redeploy, he was actually able to tie up the model count on that objective.
So what's going to happen here at the end of the movement phase is I am going to try to bring back King Velmorn, thank you, on a 3-up, and he is a summonable hero. This is a really interesting rule that they have now that they can bring back some of these heroes. So on a 3-up, let's see if we get him. Oh! Got the 3. King Velmorn is coming back, and he's been a thorn in Brendan's side. He is going to come back with 3 wounds allocated to him, but back he is.
That puts it at 10.
Into shooting, then, Torgilius is going to take his shots, and he's going to put them at those Cavalos Death Riders. We are going to try to get them off of the table.
The Leech Cav will suspend its free 1 per turn to all-out defense.
Sure. I'm going to all-out attack here as well. So, 2d6 shots. 5 shots on 3s and 4s.
Nice.
4 hits. And 3 wounds at -1.
So, 3 up. Do you get through?
2 damage each, which is kind of absurd, really, from Torgilius to have 2 damage on each shot. But starting to whittle down that unit, or continuing to whittle down that unit. Charges here. I am going to charge my unit of 10 zombies.
Okay.
And they are going to get in on a 7. At the start of the combat phase, as always, a bunch of things to do here. Sons of Elmorn are going to put their shields up, and they're going to try to turn off pile-ins for the Mortek. And they succeed at that.
Can't take the points with me, so we're going to spend a point to extra rend on the Leech Cavalos.
Okay. And on a 4-up, I'll get one of those. And I do. My first activation here is my most important. I'm going to activate with the Graveguard first.
Yep.
All of my attacks here are going to go into the Mortek, and I am going to spend for all-out attack here.
Spend a point for all-out defense.
Okay. So I've got 14 of them going in, 2 attacks each, 28 attacks plus the leaders, 29 attacks. And these are going to be hitting on 4s because they're -1 to hit and +1 to hit, but exploding 6s. Threes to wound, and 6s here, an additional mortal wound. Woo. No mortal wounds. That's going to be just 9 of them at -1. Not exactly what I was aiming for.
Alright, so I'm +2 to my save right now, so these are 3s. Whoa. Alright.
Each failure is 2 damage.
Yep. 8 6s. 8 guys die.
Okay. Still leaves an uncomfortable number in that unit, but it does definitely help here. And then it's going to be your activation.
Yep. Oof. Not feeling very good. We will start with the Mortek Guard into the skeletons.
Okay.
So I've got...
here in the middle.
Yep. So I've got 12 of them. Not -1 attack anymore, so that's nice. And of those 12, 2 are with the Great Blade, but you've reduced my damage, so they're effectively the same. So that is going to be a total of 25 attacks. That's 2s and 5s. 2s and 5s. 6s explode. 5 and -1.
5 at -1. These are going to be 6-ups and then 5-ups. Going to make one of those, and then 5-ups, 3 rolling 1s. Going to save 2 of those. That's 2 dead skeletons.
Killing me, Smalls.
I'm going to go ahead and activate with Sir Jedrin, who's just been an MVP here. He's going to put all of the attacks into the remaining Death Rider here. He's got 3 attacks on 3s and 3s. 6s will explode.
I'll spend my last point here to 5 upward.
Okay, he got 2 hits and just 1 wound at -1. On a 4-up, I'll get that command point. Nope.
Right, -1, so that's 4s. Damage.
2 damage.
Alright, 5s. And that gets him.
Okay. Finally, I have killed
a unit. Let's beat up these zombies.
Sure. So this is the Leech Cavalos going into the zombies?
Yep. Okay. Alright, so the pony, 6 attacks, 2s and 3s. Those explosions. Alright, well. Too bad there's no explosions. Alright, that'll be 4 at Ren 2, damage 1.
Okay, straight through, and then their 5-up ward. They're going to save 3 of those. It's 1 dead zombie on a 5-up. Nope, no mortal wound back.
Okay, and then the sword, 2s and 3s. 6s explode, so that's 5 hits. So that'll be a total of 10 damage.
Okay, 10 damage on 5s. I'm going to save 3 of them, and then 5s on the mortal wounds coming back. Going to do 3 of them, and we'll lose 7 zombies.
Right, I save 1, but my artifact, I heal the number of wounds equal to the number of wounds and mortal wounds I did, so I heal the full here.
Sure. Nice healing artifact.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Next up, I will activate my block of zombies here. They're just going to effectively shift a little bit, get onto the objective solidly. Yep, that's it.
Cool. Fought with the Mortec, fought with the Liege, so it's over to my Mortec guard. I got no great weapons left. This is going to be 16 attacks. 2s and 4s.
Okay, I already all-out attacked, so I can't all-out defense here.
Alright, 2s and 4s, 6s explode. Six at Ren 1, please.
Okay. That's going to put him to 6. Going to make 1 of those, and then 6-up ward. Going to fail those. I will lose 5 Grave Guard. Alright, into Battle Shock. I do have a little bit of Battle Shock to worry about here. On a 6, one of my Grave Guard will run. Nope, they're fine. And then I lost 8 zombies. I'm just going to auto-pass them.
Makes sense to me.
And my skeletons are good. So at the end of this, I'm going to hold 1, hold 2, hold more. I do control both of these with summonable units, which is going to trigger my battle tactic. I'm going to get a 5-point turn here.
Yep, that's huge. Yeah, that was tough. Alright, rolling off for 4.
Yeah, big priority roll.
I think you can put the nail in the coffin, proverbially.
I got a 6 tier 1.
Yep. Alright, close the door, man.
Yeah, I will definitely take it here. Belladonna is out of range to do the Virkos heroic action to bring zombies into this unit, and I don't have other vampires close by, so I'm not able to do that heroic action. My heroic action here is just going to be to try to heal Velmorn. And I do. He'll get 3 back.
Cool, back to full. I gotta try and steal your command point.
Sure.
I do. So you got 1.
Okay.
Take that. I don't get my +3. I'm at 6. You killed 2 units.
Okay.
I gotta do my heroic action. I'm gonna try and change Elite Cavalos into a wizard, and I'm gonna try and get rid of Ravanax.
Makes sense. You need a 7 on dice.
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Sticks around.
A game of
It doesn't do anything, so.
So far.
My heroes can then bring some units, some models back into these units. So I'm going to get 3 zombies back. They're not quite wholly within of a gravesite, so I don't get the bonus, but I do get the 3. And then I'll return the 2 skeletons that have been slain. And then we can get into some casting here. Belladonna is going to start off, as she does, with the Killing Moon. And getting that on a 7.
We'll try and stop that with Soul Mason. You get it.
Okay. And then she's going
So
to...
close.
She's then going to attempt to cast Lightning Curse. And getting that on a 9.
You can have that.
Okay. So that's 1 unit within 18. We'll put it into the Mortec Guard there.
D3.
D3 mortal wounds for 2. And for each slain model, which
Slain
is
one.
1, I get a unit of direwolves with 1 direwolf. Torgilius is going to attempt to cast Fading Vigor. Going to get that on an 8 with the +1 from the corpse card.
You can have it.
Okay, that's going to go on the Mortec Guard. It's been working.
Yep.
And then the Necromancer is going to attempt Van Hell's Dance Macabre. And we're going to get that on a 7.
Try and stop that. You get it.
Okay.
Boy, my unbinds have not been where they need to be.
That is going to go on the zombies, and they immediately get to fight.
Oof.
We've got 16 zombies in here. That's going to be 32 attacks. All going into the Liege Catalos. These are hitting on 5s. 6s are going to explode. Looks like a spicy one. How good has Killing Moon been this game?
Unbelievable.
A total of 8 extra hits there. And then we're wounding on 4s, and 6s will do mortals. So that is going to be no mortal wounds, just 8 of them at no rent.
Okay. 2s. 1.
That's it for my casting. At the end of the hero phase, then, Ravenax is going to go, and Ravenax, looking for another big number. I've been hitting the big numbers. That is going to be 8. So that is not going to get where I'd really like to put it. We're just going to try to dump those 4 mortal wounds into Catacross again.
Alright. This time you will, though.
I probably will on a 2-up. Yep, so 4 mortal wounds coming in.
2.
Sure. This is small consolation, Brendan.
Yeah. My moral victory.
And then we can get into movement. Movement here, I mean, nothing flashy. Dire Wolves push up to be within 6. Retreat the single Dire Wolf. They've got 6-inch pile now, so when they retreat, they can still get back into combat if they need to. And just shuffled a couple of things, shuffled my heroes around a little bit, but otherwise, we're just, I'm perfectly good at the status quo, so that's what I'm trying to maintain. Into shooting, Torgilius is going to put all of his shots into the Liege Catalos.
Okay. I will free point all out defense from the Liege.
2d6 shots. We've got 3 shots on 4s and 4s. 1 hit and 1 wound. -1.
2s.
Very good. Alright, and then we'll get into charges. Just this 10-man unit of zombies. They're going to try to get into combat. And they rolled a 4.
That's going to be tough.
That's not really going to do what I want to do with them, so I'm just going to leave them out. We can get into combat. Start of the combat phase. Jedrin is going to try to shut off the pile-ins for the Mortec. And he does. He's going to shield wall as well. And then my first activation is going to be with the Graveyard. Anything you want to do start of combat?
Start of combat, no, because they're gonna take the all-out defense and see if I can't rob you of at least a battle tactic.
Makes sense. We'll pile in the Graveyard then. With the 2-inch reach on the Great White Blades, they're all going to be in here. I am going to all-out attack again. So we've got a total of 13 Graveguard, 26 attacks plus 1 for the leader, 27 attacks. And they're still -1 to hit. So these are going to be 4s even with the all-out attack. So 4s with 6s exploding. Threes to wound with 6s doing mortals in addition. Ooh. Definitely makes it interesting. 1 mortal in addition and a total of 8 saves to make it -1.
Okay. So that is... I've got +2 to my saves, so these are 3s.
Get them all. Just 1 mortal wound.
I feel that.
Okay. Ooh, rough combat activation, but that's how they go sometimes. Your activation, Brendan.
All right, murder pony time.
Sure.
All right, he's gonna swing at the zombies. Pony, 2s and 3s. All right, 5 hits. 4, rend 1, 1 damage.
Okay. That's going to be 5 up wards. Gonna make 3 of those take 1. And then a 5-up kickback. It's going to do no mortal wounds back.
Alright. Sword, 2s. 2 explosions, so total of 6 hits.
Sure.
By 3s. So that'll be 6 damage.
Okay. Same thing, 5s. Going to save 2 of those. Kill 4, and then 5s. Going to deal 1 back.
Take 1 back.
And then you get to heal.
Yeah, so it puts me at 4. I killed enough, so...
Heal back to full.
Yep. That's a neat trick.
It really is. I mean, certainly effective against something like zombies. We'll then go with the skeletons. They're going to put all of their attacks into the Mortec here. 15 skeletons in, so a total of 16 attacks. And these are going to be on 4s and 3s. The 6 here will explode. 3 dwindle. That is going to be a total of 5 at -1.
4s. 1. Alright. The Mortec who don't do anything. So I've got 11 now. So that is going to be 23 attacks.
Into the skeletons.
Into the skeletons. 2s and 5s. 10. Red
Okay.
1.
With Ren 1, these are going to be 6-ups, then 5-ups. I'm going to pass 3 of them on 6s, 5s, re-rolling 1s on the board. And going to fail 3 of those. That's 3 dead skeletons.
Tough to kill.
The debuffs here are really what's doing it, pushing to the wounding on 5s. My activation then is going to be with Sir Jedrin. He's going to put all of his attacks into the unit of Mortec. 3 attacks, 3s and 3s. 2 hits. One explosion there. So 3 at -1.
4s. Good.
Okay. Here you go.
Okay. Mortec into your graveyard.
Yeah, the 5 over here.
Yeah, it's kind of insult to injury. Well, what was 5?
4, yeah.
A 3.
3, okay.
All right, so 10 attacks, 2s and 4s. 4, run 1, please.
Okay, 4 6-ups, followed by 6-ups.
Oh
Gonna
my
make
goodness.
2 of them, followed by 6-ups. Gonna fail those. Okay. My next activation is gonna be with the Direwolf here. He's gonna pile in. He's got 6-inch pile in, so he's gonna put all his attacks into the Mortec here. All right, so 2 attacks here, 4s and 4s, but I do have exploding 6s, so the dream of killing 3 Mortec is alive. And there it goes.
Yeah, sand's gone.
My next activation then is going to be with the zombies. They'll complete the encirclement.
I'm trapped.
17 zombies in, so a total of 34 attacks. And these are going to be 5s, exploding 6s.
Woo.
And then we're looking for 4s, with 6s doing mortals. So we got 2 mortals and a total of 9. 3 mortals and a total of 9 saves at no rent.
Okay. 4 saves. 2s. Okay, failed 1. So that'll be 4. Okay, take 2.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Your go.
No.
Okay, you got nothing?
I got nothing.
I've got the opportunity to pile in the direwolves over here, but I feel like that would just be a bad decision at this point. I'm going to just kind of call it the end of the turn there.
Okay.
My zombies are going to have to check Battle Shock here, and they're good. Roll with a 1. And that is going to be it for the turn. Hold 1, hold 2, but I failed my battle tactic. Hold more, so a total of 3 points there. Going to put me to 14. And we've got OBR.
Yeah,
Bottom of 4.
Yeah, so these are not looking good for me here. Talk about what I can do here. And the answer's not much. In terms of objectives, best I can do, right? Can't do an eye for an eye because as much as I can't hold objectives right now, I just won't die. The best I can do is desecrate, which I'd have to come over here, get the realm gate. I think that's doable. I'm already behind 3 on points because you're going to have the grand strats. So I have to look at this as 17-7. So how do I pick up 10 points and keep you from scoring anything over these next 2 turns? And I think that's impossible.
Okay.
So I'm going to call it here.
Okay. Good game.
Excellent game, man.
Very, very interesting how this played out. Now, I think, level set a little bit here. Both of our armies don't want to face shooting. They want to get in a melee slog, and that's what this was on both sides, right? So this isn't necessarily representative of performance against the full meta, but against them, how do you feel like it went?
Man, I think it's back to the drawing board for me.
Sure.
This is me playing the thing I have a soft spot for with everything, right?
Sure.
Catacross, I love Mortec Guard. I've got 100 plus of them on my shelf. They served as the backbone in the last edition for me. I just don't see it here. Now, some of it's the debuffs, and some of it's, trying to chew through 180 wounds. Looking at what everything was, I'm very interested in an Arcan list.
Sure. Reinforcing your casting power without having to go to Nagash, obviously, but getting a good caster, a good unbinder, certainly seems compelling.
Yeah, so thinking about that and just going faster across the board. Cavalos,
Sure.
Death Riders, Stalkers, have to consider Immortus Guard. They're markedly better at 200 points. It hurts me to say it. I don't know how much I like Catacross at 440. I feel like I just left too much on the table. I think it's too early to make any necessary hard and fast decisions on all this, but I just felt outclassed at every turn.
Which is not what we expected. Like we mentioned at the top, we looked at these books and really felt the power in some of the new OBR abilities, and we were initially very hesitant about
very skeptical.
About how Soulblight was going to come together, and I feel really good about how this played. Like we said, favorable matchup, no shooting, but a lot of these heroes have wound pass-offs, and they can kind of hang around in sneaky ways, and just the ability to throw so much on the table with a battle pack that's ultimately very few objectives.
Yeah,
it's compelling.
I was a big fan of the way that the new grave sites and everything worked, where you're able to drop the resummon stuff 3 away. Yeah, you can't charge, but
right, but especially on the opponent's turn.
I mean, it effectively won you the game, right?
Right. Being able to bring back Velmorn.
Right, because if you don't roll the 4 up there, right, you hold 1, you fail your battle tactic. Going into 4, we're tied at 7.
Right.
Now, granted, pick up a few points. You might play the gaining momentum a little bit differently, but realistically, at the end of it, I don't know how I climbed that mountain. If you do that, yeah, sure, I take you to 5, but I think the encirclement, as it were, closes.
Right.
Because I don't know how I go get that objective and hang on to that one in the long term. Because even in my turn, you could. You wouldn't be able to get Velmorn, but if you had a...
Yeah, I don't have actually anything back that I could recur at this point. I've resummoned everything that's been wiped, and you can't return...
Returns.
Yeah. The grand strategy in a list like this, grand strategy is return 3 summonable units. And that just seems like a gimme here. Gorslav has a 2-up wound pass-off into zombies. He's sticking around.
Yep.
And so he's going to get recurrence. You've got enough 4-ups and 3-ups during the game. You're going to get recurrence. All you need is summonable units to die. That's kind of the goal with that grand strat.
And if they don't kill any of your stuff,
then you're winning in different ways.
Right.
So the gimme grand strat here, I had it completed something like top of 3, maybe bottom of 3. It was when I summoned Velmorn is when I kicked it on. So
so bottom of 3.
You went first in 3, right? So
Yeah.
top of 3.
No, because you got.
Or it was on my turn. Yeah, bottom of 3. Just having your grand strat locked up that early in the game, where you then can stop thinking about it and pivot to, I'm not going to worry about my grand strat. I'm going to deny theirs.
Yep.
That's really big. Now, Ravanax, I really like. I mentioned at the top, but Ravanax for the reach, for the ability to go after foot heroes in this meta,
chance of rolling
just incredibly
3 ones,
good.
though.
Well, sometimes you hit 3 1s. If I hadn't, I'm kind of glad I did in this situation. If I hadn't rolled those 3 1s,
it's over.
Catacross is just blown up like turn round 2.
Second time you roll it.
Right. So, I think it was fortuitous we got to see more of the game because I didn't. Now, I did have incredibly good luck on the movement rolls of that, which was balanced, obviously, by hitting the ones. But normally you're not going to be pumping out that many mortal wounds if you do get them. But Ravanax was clutch. Having +2 caster in Belladama and her incredible spells, huge. And then just, it's wounds and recurrence, and these skeletons are incredible. The Death Mage lore, the Vampire lore is terrible, right? But the Death Mage lore, having 2 Death Mage casters felt awesome because that's such a good lore. I'm continuing to get more and more excited about this Soulblight list, about the Soulblight book in general.
Yeah, if you can play this within the 2-hour, 45-minute time frame that you need to, it's a very interesting list. I think that'll be the hardest bit. Right?
Definitely the challenge, yeah.
Obviously, we have an unlimited amount of time.
Right.
But like,
now, this is a different situation than most. Referencing rules was very difficult because we're
playing off
working off
screenshots.
This is my first playthrough with the army. Yeah, I can definitely cut down the time allotment a lot, but yeah, you got to get it down even more, right, to get under that 3-hour window. So
yeah.
But like I said,
with unlimited time, this is such a great showcase.
Yeah.
In terms of what we saw on your list, you had submitted a bunch of them and iterated, and this is the first one that I said that I really like this one.
Sure.
And as frustrating as it was to get put in a headlock and tossed around a little bit. I love control armies. I love debuffs. Right. Seeing what you were able to hand out was really cool. That was awesome, and it's why I'm thinking about approaching OBR a little bit differently. Is trying to address the few debuffs that I can hand out, but trying to find a way to get my buffs off, because I felt cornered all game, right? I couldn't get the engine going. I had all the command points in the world, couldn't move anything,
and you just didn't have bonuses to unbind or dispel, which let me kind of cast at will with some nice casting bonuses.
My unbinds were not good.
Right, I failed very few spells over the course of the game, and you weren't able to get the Ravanax off, so it was just sitting there rolling ones, doing nothing, which is consequential.
But it cost me an unbind.
Yeah,
right?
And it blocks up the board a little bit, and it was solid. It was definitely a threat you had to deal with. I'm excited about this. I think the Soulblight book is better than, well, I know it's better than my first impressions, and I think it's maybe better than the general audience is looking at. Yeah,
I'm on board with that idea, especially if you can bring back D3, if you can add D3 corpse cards.
Right, right. Until they FAQ that's real good.
Yeah.
Really get that bubble pushed out there. But
when you have to worry about unit coherency with corpse cards, you've really reached critical mass.
Yeah, I think one of the big tipping points for me in our iterations of lists was the moment when I really understood what bringing a unit outside of 3 inches from my opponent in my opponent's turn really meant. Right? Oftentimes
it's huge.
It's huge. Your Mortek Guard, instead of coming into my graveyard and probably cleaning me, fought zombies.
Yeah, didn't do anything.
Awesome, amazing. So, I think it's a good book. I think it's weird to say, but I think it's a good book. I think this is the wrong meta for it. I will say that. I think as long as Lumineth is on top, this is an uphill sledding.
And the rules change they got, they'll be fine.
Right. So I think Lumineth probably wrecks this pretty hard, but in the right meta, in a more melee-oriented meta, this is a strong book.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
I don't think it's A tier, but I've got it at like a B+ now.
Yeah, I think I started much lower, and we've had a fun laugh with all that. I've been slowly coming around to it, and proof's in the pudding. I'm much more inclined to your opinion of this book than I was 6 hours ago.
Well, thanks, Brendan, for the game. Slugging it out here, just having a punching match in the middle. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the viewers for hanging out and watching this. We'd love to hear what you think of these new books and these new armies, and maybe ways that we could have optimized our play here. I know that I'm going to be doing more iterating on this list. And
first of our 37-part series where Nick and I play Soulblight versus Bonereapers against each other, so buckle in for the rest of the year.
It may happen. I do love that kind of iterative approach and really cracking through lists. But thanks for hanging out.
Drop all the way down if we do that, though.
Hop into our Discord if you want to join our conversation. We'd love to have you there. It's linked down below in the description. And we just really appreciate you being here and participating with this. If you like what we're doing, like and subscribe. We appreciate that as well. Thanks, everybody.